Imagine a palm tree so enormous that you can see it from space, with 17 fronds stretching 5 kilometers into the Arabian Gulf. That's not a tree. That's the Palm Islands, Dubai's $100 billion man-made archipelago. You're watching MegaConstructs, where we explore colossal builds from around the globe. Let's start the journey. The impossible idea. In the year 2001, somewhere in Dubai, a man drew a simple circle on a piece of paper. He pushed it across the table toward his engineers and said, "By 2026, I want to build this island in the middle of the sea." That man was Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayman. Many thought he had lost his mind, but what he drew that day eventually became the blueprint for one of the most audacious engineering projects in human history. Today, Dubai is famous for the Burj Khalifa, the world's tallest building. 4 indoor ski slopes in the middle of the desert. 4 flying taxis and underwater hotels. But before all of that, there were the Palm Islands, 3 man-made archipelagos that literally reshaped the coastline of the Arabian Gulf. You've seen the photos. A perfect palm tree floating in the sea. A map of the world made of 300 tiny islands. A Ferris wheel so large it makes the London Eye look like a toy. But here's the question most people don't ask. How did they actually build these things? And why did some of them sit empty for nearly 2 decades? This is the story of Dubai's Palm Islands, the $100 billion gamble that changed the world's coastline forever. Why build islands when you have desert? First, let's address the obvious question. Dubai has plenty of land. The Emirate covers over 1,500 square miles of desert. So why spend billions of dollars building more land in the sea? The answer is surprisingly simple. Beachfront property. In the 1990s, Dubai's leaders made a bold decision. Instead of relying on oil, which was running out, they would transform their city into a global luxury tourism destination. But there was a problem. Dubai's natural coastline was only about 45 miles long. The ruler, Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, wanted to create something so unique, so awe-inspiring, that it would put Dubai on every traveler's bucket list. He didn't just want a new hotel district. He wanted a landmark visible from space. So they decided to go into the sea. Not just with one island, but with a whole collection of them. The goal was ambitious, to add hundreds of miles of new beachfront, all shaped into extraordinary designs that no one had ever attempted before. The project was called Nakheel, Arabic for the palms. And the developer, also named Nakheel, was given a simple mission: build something the world has never seen. They started with the most famous of them all, Palm Jumeirah. The impossible build: sand, rock, and GPS. To understand how Palm Jumeirah was built, you have to forget everything you know about normal construction. Normal skyscrapers use steel and concrete foundations. But this island couldn't use steel or concrete. An island made of solid concrete wouldn't be an island at all. It would just be a giant concrete slab floating in the water. So they decided to build it entirely from sand and rock, the same materials that make up natural islands. There was one problem: desert sand is too smooth, too fine. If you tried to build an island with desert sand, the sea would wash it away within days. The perfect sand was already there, at the bottom of the Persian Gulf. Seabed sand is coarse and angular, like tiny rocks. When compacted, it locks together almost as tightly as concrete. So the plan was simple on paper: dredge millions of tons of sand from the seafloor and spray it into the shape of a palm tree. The technique they used is called rainbowing. Giant dredging ships suck up sand from the seabed and spray it out in a long arc, like a rainbow. Engineers used satellite-guided GPS systems to position every grain of sand with millimeter precision. Workers on the ground would literally walk through the newly sprayed sand, carrying GPS receivers, to send the exact location back to the ships. In 45 degrees Celsius heat, they would guide the rainbowing process live. In total, they dredged 94 million cubic meters of sand. That's enough to fill nearly 40,000 Olympic swimming pools. But raw sand alone isn't stable. So they brought in Vibro compaction equipment. Giant probes were sunk into the sand, vibrating at high frequencies while water jets saturated the soil. This process made the sand particles lock together, creating a foundation that could support the weight of thousands of luxury villas. The shape of the palm tree wasn't chosen randomly. Engineers calculated that the central trunk with 17 fronds would maximize the coastline length. Instead of adding just 7 kilometers of beach, the palm shape would add 120 kilometers, over 17 times more than a simple circular island. But sand alone can't hold back the ocean. For that, they needed rock, millions of tons of it. The breakwater, holding back the sea. Every artificial island needs protection from waves and storms. For Palm Jumeirah, that protection came in the form of an 11-kilometer-long crescent-shaped breakwater, a giant rock wall that surrounds the entire island. Blasting rock from 16 different quarries across the UAE, trucks work 24 hours a day to transport boulders to the coast. From there, barges carry them out to sea, where floating cranes place them into position. The breakwater is not a simple pile of rocks. It's a precisely engineered structure with layers. The bottom layer is sand, covered by a geotextile fabric that allows water to pass through but prevents sand from washing away. Above that, they placed millions of 1-ton rocks. The outer layer uses massive 6-ton boulders, some weighing as much as a small car. In total, 7 million tons of rock were used to build the breakwater. To put that in perspective, that's roughly the weight of 1,000 fully loaded jumbo jets. The breakwater has 2 328-foot openings on each side. These gaps allow seawater to circulate naturally, preventing the water inside from becoming stagnant. Every 13 days, the entire volume of water inside the crescent is replaced. Without the circulation, the lagoon would have turned into a smelly, lifeless pond. Instead, the water stays clear and clean, clear enough to see the seabed from a helicopter. The numbers that will blow your mind. Let me give you some perspective on just how massive this project really is. Palm Jumeirah covers 560 hectares. That's about the size of 800 football fields. It extends 5 kilometers into the Arabian Gulf. The breakwater alone stretches for nearly 17 kilometers. Palm Jumeirah cost approximately $12 billion to build. To construct it, workers used 94 million cubic meters of dredged sand, 7 million tons of rock from 16 quarries, over 12,000 palm trees planted on the island. The island adds more than 120 kilometers of new beachfront to Dubai's coastline. But here's where it gets really impressive. Despite being built entirely from loose sand, the foundation is incredibly stable. Engineers used Vibro compaction to achieve an effective load-bearing capacity that can support entire skyscrapers. The island doesn't rely on concrete or steel reinforcement at all. Today, it's home to over 80,000 residents and dozens of luxury hotels, including the world-famous Atlantis, the Palm. The next giant, Palm Jebel Ali. Buoyed by the success of Palm Jumeirah, Nakheel immediately began work on the second Palm Island. This one was called Palm Jebel Ali, named after the nearby port. Palm Jebel Ali was supposed to be 50% larger than Palm Jumeirah, covering an area of 13.4 square kilometers and adding 91 kilometers of new beachfront. The shape was similar, a central trunk with 16 fronds, but the scale was dramatically bigger. The fronds themselves were wider, the channels deeper, and the breakwater longer. Work began in 2002. Reclamation was 98% complete by 2006. The island skeleton was already visible from space. Then the 2008 global financial crisis hit. Dubai's property market collapsed. Nakheel, which had borrowed billions to fund its ambitions, was suddenly struggling to survive. Construction on Palm Jebel Ali ground to a halt. For nearly 15 years, Palm Jebel Ali sat frozen. The sand was in place. The breakwater was complete, but there were no buildings, no roads, no residents. Just an empty palm-shaped ghost island visible from satellite images, slowly eroding under the desert sun. Many people assumed the project was cancelled forever. But in 2023, something changed. Dubai's property market roared back to life. Luxury real estate prices hit record highs. And Nakheel announced that Palm Jebel Ali was being revived. In 2024, the dredging company Jan de Nul won a €200 million contract to finish the island, reclaiming sand, constructing beaches, and preparing the fronds for construction. By the first quarter of 2025, the first 8 fronds were ready for building. By late 2025, the first rows of beachfront villas started taking shape. Palm Jebel Ali is one of Dubai's most anticipated mega projects. The first villas are scheduled for handover by late 2026. By 2028, over 500 new villas will be complete. In 2025 alone, Palm Jebel Ali captured 21% of all luxury property transactions in Dubai for homes priced over AED 20 million. The island is no longer a ghost. It's becoming a reality. And it's not just villas. The master plan includes over 80 hotels, boardwalks, marinas, and a water park. Sustainability is also a focus. The island is targeting 30% of its energy from renewable sources. But Palm Jebel Ali isn't the only palm island with a comeback story. The third palm that changed shape. The original plan called for 3 palm islands. The third was Palm Deira, and it was supposed to be the biggest of them all. Originally planned to be 8 times larger than Palm Jumeirah, covering over 80 square kilometers. Construction began in 2004. By 2007, the reclamation was well underway. Then the financial crisis hit. Unlike Palm Jebel Ali, which was mostly complete, Palm Deira was still in its early stages. When the crisis struck, reclamation stopped, and the project was put on indefinite hold. 4 years, nothing happened. Then, in 2022, Nakheel announced a major change. Palm Deira was being completely redesigned and rebranded as Dubai Islands. Now a collection of 5 smaller islands shaped like teardrops, not a palm tree at all. The new Dubai Islands project spans 17 square kilometers, still 3 times larger than Palm Jumeirah, and adds over 20 kilometers of beachfront. But instead of one massive palm tree, it's now 5 interconnected islands designed for a mix of luxury residences, hotels, and commercial spaces. In May 2025 alone, sales on Dubai Islands surged to nearly AED 3.5 billion, $950 million. The project is no longer a dream on paper. It's actively attracting buyers from around the world. What was once supposed to be the third Palm Island has transformed into something entirely new, a waterfront city designed for the next generation of Dubai residents. The world map that almost sank. Beyond the Palm Islands, Nakheel attempted something even more audacious, the World Islands. If you look at satellite images of Dubai's coast, you'll see a cluster of small islands arranged in the rough shape of a world map. That's the world, a collection of 300 artificial islands built from 320 million cubic meters of dredged sand and rock. The idea was simple but insane. Wealthy individuals and corporations could buy entire countries. Want to own your own private France or Australia? You could, for a price. Construction began in 2003 and was mostly complete by 2008. But then the financial crisis struck. And unlike the Palm Islands, the world had a major problem. It didn't have a breakwater. Without a protective outer wall, the islands began eroding. Sand washed away. Channels between islands started silting up. By 2010, reports emerged that some islands were sinking, and developers filed lawsuits over land that was literally disappearing into the sea. For nearly a decade, the world sat nearly abandoned. Only a few islands, notably Lebanon and Greenland, saw any development. For everyone else, the world was a $14 billion monument to overambition. But in recent years, the world has started to come back to life. The Heart of Europe project on 6 islands representing European countries is under active construction, with hotels and resorts scheduled for completion by 2027. In 2025, transaction volume on the world islands grew by 25%. The world isn't thriving, but it's no longer abandoned. After 2 decades, the world map is finally getting its residents. Bluewaters and the world's largest Ferris wheel. Not every Dubai island was built by Nakheel. Bluewaters Island, a separate project developed by Mirage, is proof that other developers wanted to get in on the action. Bluewaters is a man-made island located just off the coast of Jumeirah Beach residents. It covers about 500,000 square meters and was built specifically to house one attraction, Ain Dubai, the world's largest and tallest observation wheel. Ain Dubai stands 250 meters tall, nearly twice the height of the London Eye. It has 48 passenger capsules, each capable of carrying up to 40 people. A single rotation takes nearly 40 minutes, giving visitors breathtaking views of Dubai's skyline and the Arabian Gulf. Bluewaters also features luxury residences, hotels, restaurants, and retail spaces. The entire project cost approximately $2.17 billion. Today, it's a thriving tourist destination, proof that even smaller artificial islands can be commercially successful. But Bluewaters isn't the only small island making waves. Burj Al Arab, Dubai's iconic sail-shaped hotel, was actually the first major artificial island in Dubai, built in 1999 on 250 concrete columns driven into the seabed. Without that experimental island, the Palm projects might never have been attempted. Each island built on the lessons of the last. Each project pushed the boundaries further. And today, more than 2 decades after the first circle was drawn on a piece of paper, the vision is finally complete. Environmental cost. What got sacrificed? Of course, you can't reshape the coastline of an entire country without consequences. Environmentalists have long criticized Dubai's artificial islands. During construction, millions of tons of rock and sand buried oyster beds and coral reefs. The only known coral reef off the coast of Dubai was largely destroyed during dredging. Natural currents were rerouted, causing erosion along the mainland shore. Crystal clear waters turned murky with silt. In the early 2000s, ecologists accused the developers of pushing entire marine ecosystems away to gain more real estate. Turtle nesting sites were destroyed. The Persian Gulf, already under environmental stress, suffered additional damage from the massive land reclamation. Nakheel disputed many of these claims, arguing that most of the coral was already dead and that the islands would actually create new habitats. And in some ways, they were right. A 2009 study by the United Nations University found that marine life was returning to the artificial reefs created by the breakwaters. Fish populations increased. Coral began recolonizing some areas. Today, the waters around Palm Jumeirah are teeming with life. Not the same species as before, but life nonetheless. The islands also caused localized coastal erosion elsewhere, forcing the government to carry out continuous maintenance. And the increased demand for fresh water to support all the new residents led to more desalination, which increases salinity and carbon emissions. There's no clean answer to the environmental question. Dubai built its islands knowing the cost. They decided the economic benefits outweighed the damage. Whether that was the right decision depends on who you ask. Life on the Palm today. In 2025, Palm Jumeirah is anything but empty. Over 80,000 residents call it home. The island has become one of the most coveted addresses in the world. Property prices have skyrocketed. In 2025, average prices for apartments started at AED 6 million, $1.6 million, and reached up to AED 23 million, $6.3 million for exclusive waterfront properties. Villa values have risen nearly 25% year on year, with some plots selling for as much as AED 365 million, $100 million. The island is also home to world-class hotels: Atlantis, the Palm, the Waldorf Astoria, the Fairmont, and the Viceroy, among others. A new Como residence's tower worth AED 1.8 billion, $490 million, is currently under construction. Residents and tourists can travel along the Palm by a monorail that runs the entire length of the island from the mainland to the crescent. There's also a 6-lane underwater tunnel, one of the few underwater road tunnels in the world, connecting the trunk to the crescent. The boardwalk along the breakwater stretches for over 17 kilometers. On any given evening, you'll see joggers, cyclists, and families enjoying the sea breeze. Palm Jumeirah is no longer just an engineering experiment. It's a genuine, thriving community, arguably the most successful artificial island project in human history. Palm, Jebel Ali, Dubai Islands, and even the world are now racing to catch up. The final verdict. Was it worth it? When Sultan Ahmed bin Sulayem drew that circle on a piece of paper in 2001, it seemed impossible. A palm-shaped island in the middle of the sea, built entirely from sand and rock, with no steel or concrete foundations. Engineers said it couldn't be done. 25 years later, the results speak for themselves. Palm Jumeirah is a success by every measurable standard. It has generated billions in revenue. It has transformed Dubai into a global luxury destination. It has created thousands of jobs and hundreds of thousands of homes. Palm Jebel Ali, after nearly 2 decades of delays, is finally rising from the sea. Dubai Islands has been reborn and is selling faster than anyone expected. Even the world, the most troubled of all the projects, is beginning to attract new investment and visitors. Were there mistakes? Absolutely. The environmental damage was real. The financial crisis nearly bankrupted Nakheel. The world islands should have had a breakwater. Palm Jumeirah should never have been started before the other two were finished. But Dubai learns from its mistakes. Each island built on the lessons of the last. What started as an impossible dream became a blueprint for coastal development around the world. Today, every time you fly into Dubai and look out the window over the Arabian Gulf, you'll see them. 3 palm trees and a world map carved into the sea by human hands. They are monuments to ambition, not the ambition that succeeds on the first try, but the ambition that keeps trying, even when everyone says it can't be done. Thank you for watching MegaConstructs. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Dubai's Palm Islands, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join our next journey. What's your favorite artificial island in the world? Let me know in the comments below.